welcome to The Experience. I'm your host, Steve Fox, and after a brief hiatus with some little flu-like symptoms, I am back live here tonight, Thursday, October 7th, 1999. The Red Sox lost. Yes, that sucks. So much for their playoffs hopes, but enough of that. That's the sports segment of the show. We are broadcasting live. Tonight's topic is aromatherapy, and I'm joined with Linda Patterson, who's the director and founder of the Eclectic Institute of Aromatherapy in Air. And she's going to talk about some of the practices and benefits of aromatherapy. If you have a question or comment, or you'd like to join our discussion, you can do so by calling us at 343-3130, or you could send us an email at experience@fatv.org, or you can join our website by going to www.fatv.org/experience, the English version. So I want to welcome Linda. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
For being here tonight. Basically, right off the bat, what is aromatherapy?
Aromatherapy is using the essential oils derived from plants for healing purposes, whether that be healing the body, the mind, or the spirit.
Now, are these based on, I don't know, you say like the essential oils from the ground. Does it have some of the Native American type of background to it along those lines, or are there, like, what started it? Who started it? Do we know?
It's actually been used for many, many years. Aromatherapy was used 4,000 years ago by the Egyptians to enhance their life, love, and health. And it really became very famous in England through a man named Tisserand, who coined the phrase aromatherapy. And what they do is most of the essential oils that you see here are distilled from the plants themselves.
Okay.
And they're used topically. I personally don't use them internally, but they're used topically to heal skin problems and respiratory infections, and also it's used a great deal for stress relief.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you'll have to tell me a little bit more about that, because I am quite the stress conductor. How many essential oils are there?
You know, when I first started studying aromatherapy about a dozen years ago, there were probably a third the essential oils that there are now. And now there are probably a couple of hundred. It's amazing.
Now, are these, when you say essential, I'm assuming that there are a lot of other oils that aren't as essential. Did they move through up the ranks and then later became classified as essential, or were there just, like when you started, only a certain number that were known, or did people still discover them after that?
I think that they began experimenting with more and more plant material. Okay. Is what ended up happening. There are a lot of oils out there, and just because the label says that it's pure and natural doesn't necessarily mean it's so. Unfortunately, here in America, it started as a trend, and then we've been trying to convert it into a profession. Whereas in England, it started as a profession, and then it became trendy. So their quality started at the highest grade it could be, and then slackened. And here, our quality has started very low, and it's been very difficult to raise that up. Now,
how long you had said about you've been involved 12 years ago. How did you stumble across it? What sparked your interest?
I have a love for plants. I do a lot of work in horticulture. I particularly have a love for herbalism. I'm an herbalist as well. So I thought that using aromatherapy, essential oils, that side of the plant, the essential oil, would help enhance my herbal studies. And I fell in love with it and continued to study and work with the oils.
Did you do that here in the States, or did you go abroad?
Yes, here in the States.
Did you find it difficult to learn about it here in the States?
I feel fortunate. I studied with a woman whose name was Jade Schutz, and I studied with her when she was in Boston. She studied in England. And the teachings in England are very different than the teachings here. People that I've had the fortune to listen to that were trained in America teach very differently than the people that were trained in Europe. So I feel fortunate to have that really strong European foundation. So she came and brought her teachings here and then moved to the West Coast. So I feel really fortunate.
Far away. Is she still a phone call away?
Yes, she is. Yes.
That's good to be able to keep in contact with a teacher like that. I see you have with you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, nine of the hundreds of essential oils. Are these the most common oils that you've brought, or why these particular oils?
You know, I just picked these out.
Okay.
They're not the most common, although there are some essentials here. Things like lavender and tea tree, peppermint and eucalyptus, I think, are certainly some of the most essential to have on hand.
Now, you said they're used topically. Are they? How other ways can they be used? The oils themselves, are they burned? Can they be used internally, or are they strictly for a topical use? Or
there are people who use them internally, and in Europe they use them internally often. That's usually under the guidance of a physician. I personally don't believe that they're the best thing internally. If I wanted to treat someone internally, I would use the herb itself.
Okay, that would be like the ginkgo or the herb extracts that you find in the or for the sake of something better, in the vitamin stores, those type of extracts like the ginkgo or the what's another one? What's the one that a friend of mine told me to use for my stress or anxiety? Kava.
Kava is a great herb. But most of the herbs, things like ginkgo and kava and ginseng, that are getting a lot of ink, and echinacea, I've not found essential oils for those herbs.
Okay.
But for stress, I might say take kava internally and then give someone lavender to use it in a diffuser in their home.
As a diffuser, how would that explain how that works? What is a diffuser?
There are many different diffusers.
Okay.
And the best diffuser depends upon what you're trying to achieve. If it has to do with stress, then even a candle diffuser could work, which I think many people have seen. Diffusers that heat gently with candles.
Okay.
And you fill the top bowl with water, and you put some essential oils in it and light the candle underneath
So
it.
that's similar to like spraying a light bulb with like a cologne or something and turning the light on and having that.
Yeah, they also make light bulb rings
Okay.
that you fill the ring with oil and you place it on the light bulb.
Okay.
Just if, for people out there, if you decide to spray a light bulb, make sure you spray it cold.
Not hot, or else you'll have
Right.
a lot more than aroma in the
There'll
air.
be a lot of glass.
We have our first call. Hi, you're on The Experience.
Hi, Steve. It's Karen.
Hi, Karen. How are you?
Good. How are you?
She did my nails for my wedding.
How nice.
I heard your guest say that aromatherapy oils can help skin disorders. Well, with working with my hands, I have severe eczema. I was wondering what she would suggest.
Eczema is a challenge because eczema can be dry or it can be weeping. And depending upon whether you have dry eczema or weeping eczema would determine which essential oils. Some essential oils, like tea tree, are very, very drying. So if you had something that was weepy, you would want to put something like that on.
Mine is dry.
First, let me say this. I almost use no essential oils directly on the skin. I put them all into a carrier oil of almond oil or apricot kernel oil, so you would want to do that first. And I would probably use something more like lavender and frankincense.
Okay. Thank you.
You're
welcome.
welcome, Karen.
Okay.
Go back to doing those nails.
I got home in time to see you tonight.
And I'll be in on Thursday for mine, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, doll.